exposing corruption is the matter that a whistleblower was killed, and then they put the name Babita Theogram.
And where did you get that information?
I can't recollect 100% because this is something that came here now, but I don't want to give an opinion that I can't substantiate. But that one I did know. You know, I think if I'm right, it might be on radio, on my way to work or what, but I don't want to assume, commissioners. I don't have a good recollection. This is something new that was brought by the advocate to me, but if I can't recollect, I don't want to come and make opinions. But I've already indicated, Commissioner, that should I have found this thing, and then I would have dealt with it in terms of that.
All right. Forget for now, for purposes of my discussion with you or my engagement with you, forget that you got the file this morning, because I'm not speaking to this. I don't monitor the media, but I know that I had this in the news, like every South African watching TV. It was national news. I think that we can take as a common fact that it was in the news. It made national news, and that's the only way I became aware of this story. You became aware of this story, you say you think on radio. Now, my question really is, what about it on radio did you hear? You didn't just hear the name she was killed, because it was a big story. There was a fuller story to it, and I would like to understand what it is you say you had, whether on radio, whether on TV, but when you heard about this name and that she's been killed, what else about it did you hear?
A whistleblower, Commissioner, has been killed for exposing corruption.
And that story would have said what corruption and where, right?
I do not have a recollection of that, Commissioner.
You must, General. I'm going to press you on this. You must. I think you're being selective. There was always a complete story about this, explaining what it's alleged she had done, blew the whistle on, and who was implicated in that. And it's difficult to accept that you heard about this killing, but you didn't hear what it is that she's supposed to have blown the whistle on, and who are the people that are implicated. It's difficult to accept that you didn't hear that information.
Commissioners, I say a whistleblower has been murdered for exposing corruption in Tembisa Hospital.
Yes. So you knew it was corruption, it related to corruption at Tembisa Hospital?
Yes, Commissioners.
And you say what you did not hear is that corruption implicated, or the allegations implicated, Mr. Matlala's company. That's a part that you say you didn't hear.
No, when you read today, Commissioners, this was read, when I read it, it is not Matlala alone that was implicated here. When I read these articles today.
Yes.
Yeah, so I realize Matlala is part of this. There's other people and companies that are mentioned, but prior, I was not privy to know that which companies, but what was said on the radio, as if I remember very well, traveling to work, was a whistleblower who was murdered for exposing corruption at Tembisa Hospital. And then in the radio, I think they were talking about a lot of topics and other things, but this one came out because, Commissioners, if I was to be selective, I don't have to be selective because I will admit to things that I heard about, but allow me not to admit to things that I didn't hear.
Okay.
And then allow me to give you the best recollection of my events as they were unfolding. But I want to plead that I must not be pressurized to give an answer that I don't know about. If I don't know, Commissioners, I really don't know. It is my humble submission that please I do not want to be pressurized to say things that tomorrow might come and say, but at the commission, this is what you said.
Yes.
So,
General, the intention is not to pressurize you. I asked you simply this.
no, I do not want to be pressurized to say things that tomorrow might come and say, but at the commission, this is what you said.
Yes.
So,
General, the intention is not to pressurize you. I asked you simply this. This is all I asked you. I said, you heard on radio, on what you've just said, you heard on radio that Ms. Diokaran, a whistleblower, has been killed. That's, you say, I heard that on radio. 1. 2, you heard on radio, you say, that she was killed for blowing the whistle on corruption at Tembisa Hospital. You say that's what you heard on radio. What I was testing with you, or what I was asking you, was you did not hear in those radio reports, you did not hear that Mr. Matlala's company is one, or the company that is implicated in the corruption at Tembisa Hospital. I was checking that part you say you did not hear. And
Correct.
the answer is yes, no. You
correct.
either heard it or you didn't.
I didn't hear that, Commissioner,
Thank
if you
you.
allow me to answer, but you said I will pressurize you to respond. That is why I said what I said, Commissioner.
Because I wanted a
That's
clear
what-
answer. I wanted a clear answer to make sure that I do understand your answer, that you heard Ms. Diokaran has been killed. She was a whistleblower on corruption at Tembisa Hospital. You heard that part. I wanted to be clear about that. And then finally, to be clear that your evidence is that you did not hear that Mr. Matlala's company was implicated by the whistleblower. That's all. It's that simple. I just wanted
Correct,
an answer to that. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Hassan.
Thank you, Commissioner Baloyi. General, I'm not going to move off these media clips because I hear what you're saying, but it doesn't make sense because, as I said, thanks to good journalism in this country, you couldn't avoid hearing about the developments in the investigation of this particular scandal. You couldn't avoid it. And you can see that as I take you through these particular articles. And as I said, this is a sample. And this is just what is posted online. There was radio and there was TV. And there were other forms of social media posts regarding this. So I'm going to go through it because this was on 20 December, this particular article. Now what we have is not only that Mr. Matlala was involved in the Tembisa scandal, but also that his company was raided and that he's been awarded a further tender, the one that we were discussing yesterday in the purchase orders related to the further tender. So there are more information is emerging. So this is on 20 December, and we've gone through the headlines of that. And again,